It is my honor to welcome my friend and NATCA's President, Paul Rinaldi.
How about another round of applause for the Wolf Elementary Choir? Cute, talented, and adorable, and I have none of that, so bear with me up here, okay? 1,500 people, over 1,500 people registered for this CFS. That is impressive. It is absolutely amazing. In 1999, when we started, we had 44 people show up for CFS, and just heard Steve about the exhibit hall back there is absolutely amazing. So we have over 1,500 people registered of NATCA members, FAA officials, airline industry, manufacturers, pilots, and the international aviation community. It's really good to have you here, and it's really necessary that you're here because we need to have the important conversations to move the needle on aviation safety. Slate.com, I'm sure you all heard of it, is a daily online magazine. Recently featured the top 7 wonders of the modern world. And can you guess what the #1 wonder of the modern world is? The United States Aviation Control System. How great is that? It's an awesome article, yeah. It is an incredible article, and I suggest you go online and look at it, but not now. You must listen to me, and I have important things to tell you. But Slate.com actually did get it correct. Our national airspace system is a true wonder, and it's made possible by the men and women in this room and the men and women back in our facilities, what they do every day. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for having the safest aviation system in the world. You see, whether you're a controller, pilot, engineer, aircraft certification specialist, a government official, or an industry representative, we're using our talents, our energy, our passion, our pride to enhance the modern wonder of the world, our national airspace system, which happens to be the safest, most efficient, most diverse, most complex system in the world. We have different titles in different areas of expertise, but we all care about one thing. You know, care is not actually the word. We're all obsessed about one thing. We're obsessed about aviation safety. You know, in this modern times of over 100 years of commercial flight, aviation safety in itself is not inherently dangerous, but is terribly unforgiving for any carelessness, incapacity, or neglect. So whether you build, certify, control, or fly airplanes, or whether you build airports, new technology, procedures, or policies, we all show up to work for one reason: to advance aviation safety, to make this system that we all work in the safest, most efficient system in the world, and to remove any carelessness and neglect from our national airspace system. Remove the human mistakes and the technology mistakes. That's what we do. That's who we are. It's in our DNA. That's right. Aviation safety is in our DNA. And we're all here this week to talk about aviation safety, to have those conversations about how we move the needle to make it, to enhance the safety and modernize at the same time. These conversations need to happen. But brothers and sisters from the U.S., it is not just the United States that needs to have these conversations. See, modern technology today is rapidly making it a one-world airspace. And I'm proud to welcome our brothers and sisters and colleagues from around the world. We have representatives from Canada, the UK, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia. We have the International Federation of the Air Traffic Control Association Executive Board here, international unions and pilots and colleagues from air navigation service providers from around the world. All of us have as much at stake for the safety and efficiency of a modern airspace. See, without safety, we have nothing. We have no level of certainty, no public trust. So it doesn't really matter where we're from or what system we work in or how large the system is that we work in. We're all part of one large aviation community, averaging over 100,000 flights a day around the world, carrying over 3 billion passengers a year, responsible for 58 million jobs worldwide. Safety is our business, it is what we do, it's who we are, and it's in our DNA. One world airspace, all of us working together to learn from each other and advance and enhance safety of aviation. We're of the same breed and of the same family, and we all have the same DNA. Single-handedly, NATCA and the stakeholders of the United States system can accomplish some great things. But together, all of us around the world, we can change the airspace system forever. We can build a better system. We could reach for things that we can't see. Together, we could dream and innovate and implement the unbelievable. And believe me, the unbelievable is being talked about. And this week at CFS, we're going to do just that. We're going to have those challenging conversations, informative panels. We've got a great conference for you this year. We start every morning or afternoon with the Daily Dispatch. We have a top-notch communication specialist team that works on putting this newspaper together, and it's worth you looking at it every day. We'll give you the latest information. And if you're not a paper person, then we actually have it on our app. That's right, NATCA has an app to talk about communicating for safety. But at this conference this week, we're going to have some incredible speakers. The Administrator, Michael Walter, is going to speak with us. The Assistant Administrator for NextGen, Ed Bolton, will be here to speak with us. Associate Administrator for Safety, Peggy Gilligan. ATO Chief Operating Officer, Terry Bristol. The former NTSB Chair and the current President and CEO of the National Safety Council, Deborah Hirschman, will be here. Acting NTSB Chair, Christopher Hart. We're going to have wonderful conversations with a personality expert of Dr. James Fallon. NBC News correspondent Tom Costello will be here. Gordon Graham is back by popular demand. Yeah. The only thing I requested that I went on stage before him because he spits all over the stage. And also by popular demand back is our storm chaser, Reed Timmer, who I believe has the Terminator out there somewhere. I know it was buried with snow. I find it ironic that the thing can go through tornadoes, but it can take a little bit of snow. But we'll deal with that at another time. For those that were at CFS last year, it was an outstanding conference. But I will tell you, it ended with a strange twist. See, after the Archery League banquet, we had the norovirus take over about 1/3 of the people that were there. So those that know me well know I'm a germaphobe, and I go nowhere without Purell. In your registration packets, there should be Purell. Every time you want to touch somebody, touch something that somebody else is touching before you eat, Purell. It can't hurt you, and you'll go home feeling well. At this conference, we'll also have stimulating breakouts. We have an awesome exhibit panel, exhibit hall full of sponsors. And man, when you look at that technology out there, you just start drooling why we don't have it in our facilities. But really, take a look at it and enjoy the technology. Touch it, give input. You know, some of the vendors keep coming back because they're getting such valuable input from the controllers and the technicians on what actually they need to develop so that it will work in our system. And then, of course, Wednesday night is my favorite night of all as your president of NATCA. And Trish Gilbert and I get to stand up on stage, and really we're humbled just to give out the Archery League Awards of amazing work that was done throughout the year. And then, you know, without fail, every single one of the Archery League Award winners come up and say, you know, I'm just doing my job. And it's truly, it's in our DNA. We're just doing our job, making sure those airplanes get from point A to point B safely. And every year we finish the Archery League Banquet Award, and I look at Trish and I go, yeah, we're not topping that one. And then we get the next crop of saves that happened the following year, and we go, wow, another great round of saves and incredible work done by the men and women of the air traffic control system. So it is going to be an outstanding conference. I thank you for being here. But it doesn't just snap of the fingers get planned that way. Like I said, in 1999, we had 4,400 people here, and 44 people here, and this year we have 1,500 people here. And this is no small feat to put on this great show, and I must thank Steve Hansen, the chairman of the Safety Committee, and the Planning Committee, and the volunteers, and our great national office staff. All these people spend countless hours on their own time putting this conference on. And you know what? It's a year in planning. They will, on Thursday morning after this conference is over, have a meeting and start planning for next year's. They probably have already started. They probably have some notes on exactly how they're moving forward and starting. And believe me, whether they're controllers or engineers or work in the system or our national office staff, safety is certainly in their DNA also. So a lot has happened over the years, over this last year. And the one that really sticks out to me is the horrific act of sabotage of an unbalanced individual setting one of our busiest facilities on fire. And you know, through that, on September 26th of 2014, this airspace faced the biggest crisis since 9/11, when the fire in the basement of Chicago Center shut down our busy air traffic control and route center, and really the uncertainty of what actually would happen. But as controllers do, with dedication going above and beyond, out of that scenario, the most challenging scenario, we saw complete operational excellence. And they made our profession proud, our air-based system proud, and it showed that one lunatic individual will not take down our system. You know, in the true controller spirit, nothing stopped them. In coordinating with facilities around Chicago Center and the command center, our specialists at the command center, and deploying the expertise from Chicago Center, they were able to, in 4 days, to get it up and running where Chicago O'Hare was the busiest airport in the system. That is incredible work. Like I said, operational excellence in the most challenging scenario. That's what controllers face almost every day. But on this day, and you'll hear a riveting panel tomorrow on this, you heard controllers sacrificing their own well-being, staying in a building that was on fire for the safety of the flying public to make sure those airplanes were connected to different approach controls and getting them on track to where they needed to go. Absolutely heroic and amazing. And I'm looking forward to the conversation of that panel tomorrow. I know it's going to be fascinating. I just can't wait. But you know, other things have happened in this system last year. It's been a tough year, actually, when you think about it. We as controllers still have an amazing record. Aviation is still the safest mode of transportation. But there have been a couple of tragedies that are unacceptable. Human lives are lost in terrible aviation accidents around the world. It always touches us personally. We're connected to that. And because aviation safety is in our DNA. But you think about the flights of Asiana 214, TransAsia Flight 235, and the mystery around Malaysia, Flight 370. And then you think about some of the other accidents we've had in the system in GAs, and some that actually, because of they were in our backyard, stick out with me personally, is the crash at Frederick, Maryland, where we had a helicopter and a small aircraft collide, mid-air collision. And then the other crash in Gaithersburg, Maryland, where a small jet went flying into a house, killing all on board and killing 3 people in the house, a woman and her 2 children. You know, it's, like I said, we have the safest form of transportation, but we must all proactively work together to reduce accidents like this, to remove carelessness, incapacity, neglect, and mistakes, so these things don't happen. We can do it. We can move it from every flight, remove it from every flight. We can do anything we want to if we set our minds to it. Do you think the controllers had this masterful plan in Chicago to start deploying controllers all over the place so that they can get up and running the Chicago airspace from other facilities? No. They set their mind to it and they accomplished it. So we could set our mind to eliminating these types of accidents around the world, and we could do it, and we should do it, and that's what we're going to do here at CFS and start having these conversations. Globalization is a pivotal issue for all of us. And I don't have to tell you, you probably know that the world is not going to tolerate another Malaysia Flight 370. Boeing 777s just don't disappear with no trace. They're still looking for it for a year now. So we must modernize our system and have the most advanced tracking out there. But we must do it in a proactive way so that we're able to enhance the safety and efficiency of our system. We must focus, an unrelenting focus and determination for the never-ending mission of continuing to enhance safety of flight while testing the principles of flight beyond its normal limits. Like I said, air travel is still the safest mode of transportation, but we have so much to do. And in this country, we call it next gen. And we've been working very hard and putting foundations in place for the success of next gen. And we've prepared ourselves that we can move the needle to greatness, but we must stay focused and determined on how we get there. ATSAP is one of those programs, foundational and groundbreaking. ASAP for the airlines, programs where we can get information, non-punitive, and actually start seeing results of enhancing the safety of the system. Forwarding these type of issues from everything from runway configurations to equipment design problems to loss of separation. And for the first time, we're starting to see the frontline information actually trending, gathering together, and our local Partner for Safety initiative being put in place and addressing this. Step by step, building a brick and a foundation to enhance the safety of this system for the future. ATSAP is a game changer. And this union took a leap of faith to put that in 2008. And I'm glad we did. It is truly a game changer, and it enhances the safety of our system every day. Shifting from a punitive culture of safety into one, we need the information to enhance it for the flying public. Collaboration is another game changer. Buy-in is so important at the local level, it's so important at the regional level, and it's so important at the national level. It's important to have that communication with the management and the front line and find common goals to enhance the safety of the system. In industry, we have something called the Next Gen Advisory Committee, where all the stakeholders are involved in modernizing and advancing and setting the priorities on how the agency is going to go forward with Next Gen. It is priceless to have these meetings and be part of these meetings so you can set the priorities for the country. Collaboration has to touch every program and every initiative that we do. This is the only way you're going to get the best results. A perfect example of this is our Foundation for Professionalism. And under that umbrella, we have our professional standards, raising the bar on professionalism. We have our Tune Off and Tune In program, eliminating distractions from our operational environment. And last year at CFS, we launched the Fully Charged campaign, which is combating fatigue in our workforce, in our workplace. These FAA/NATCA initiatives are truly great examples of making a difference collaboratively in our work environment. Our Executive Vice President Trish Gilbert and myself do not stop trying to collaborate with anybody in the aviation industry. We have built great relationships with FAA leadership. Our relationships with the industry are stronger than ever. We have solid presence on Capitol Hill. Aviation is a nonpartisan issue. Safety is a nonpartisan issue. And we will continue to push and build the alliances around so we can advance and enhance our national airspace system and our world airspace system. Under NextGen, we're starting to see positive results. OAPM, it's the greatest name for a project, OAPM. Last year, we turned on 63 new procedures in the Houston area, and in September, we flipped the switch on 80-plus procedures in the North Texas area, saving millions of gallons of fuel, using GPS-based arrival and departure paths, meaning the airlines won't have to fly, will fly millions of miles less each year, reducing the carbon footprint in the environment and actually making our operation cleaner and better. That's brilliant. Now we have to duplicate that throughout the country. RECAT, we started it in Memphis. Federal Express, loved it. It was like a tornado that went through the country where they all want RECAT right now. We implemented it in Atlanta and Louisville, and we're starting to roll it out to a facility near you. It's actually increasing capacity and throughput, and the pilots love it, and the controllers actually are loving it also. Something called ELSO that we did, where we experimented in Atlanta, using 10 degrees divergence with GPS tracks instead of 15 degrees off runways. We were able to get 4 airplanes into the same window that we normally were able to get only 3, increasing the capacity and truly modernizing our system with procedures. Oh, and then there's ERAM. I had this great speech prepared that Atlanta was going to go ORD today, and then at 6:30 in the morning I got an email that said Atlanta's not declaring ORD today. But that's okay. You know why? Because when we declare ORD, that means it's safe and it's ready, and we will continue to work on this system. They had a little bit of a hiccup. We'll fix it, we'll design it, we'll work it together and get there. It wasn't always like that. In 2009, we had this thing called the ERAM, which was a $2 billion bust. $2 billion bust. They started putting it into Seattle and Salt Lake, and it didn't track airplanes and actually shut down our system on times, didn't generate any flight progress strips to our terminal environment, and it was through the hard work of the controllers getting involved and rolling up their sleeves and starting from scratch and rolling it out slowly, methodically, testing, developing, and being confident that it will work in each facility across the country. And we have been rolling steady across the country, slowly, to make sure we don't interrupt the NAS. We're down to 3 facilities: New York, Washington, D.C., and Atlanta. And I believe we're going to cross the finish line in March, at the end of March. But I don't think it's the end, it's actually just the beginning. And those people that are banging on ERAM will say, well, it's $500 million over project, over budget, and it's 5 years too late. Well, the way I look at it, once the controllers got involved, it was a $2 billion program that was going nowhere. With $500 million in 5 years, we rolled it out faster than they could possibly even consider doing that. It's a monumental task, and I got to thank, there's so many people to thank for ERAM, but I must thank Julie Henriquez from New York Center and Jim Ullman, our RVP from the Northwest Mountain, that actually have just been, they've really been the point on this and making sure we completely stay on focus. But there are other programs like TAMR that we're rolling out throughout the terminal world. These are our platforms. ERAM and TAMR are our platforms. We're going to attach exciting equipment like Datacom and ADS-B to, so we could track airplanes better and actually not have frequency congestion and be able to talk to more airplanes. What is definitely clear around the world is we need technology to enhance tracking to make sure that we don't have another Malaysia 317. And there is a product out there called Global ADS-B where they're going to launch satellites and we're actually going to be able to track over the oceans. And it's innovative. It's exciting. We've got to make sure that we're implementing this properly so we stay safe and we don't have any problems. It is time for all of us to start thinking and innovating. We need to evolve our airspace. The future of avionics reads like right out of a science fiction page. I kid you not. In SpaceX, private companies that are currently testing rockets and spacecrafts that will ultimately be sending people to live on other planets. I don't know about you, but I have a short list of people I'd like to send to another planet. But we have these little things called UAVs. And they're everything from what you can get at Ritz Camera for $400 that go up 300 feet and take pictures of your neighborhood to these big 737-like drones that are flying in our system. This is shaking up the industry. And if you pay attention, Amazon wants to start delivering packages with drones, and Domino's wants to start delivering pizzas with drones, if we can imagine that. So we have to continue to work with the FAA collaboratively to make sure that we incrementally approach these issues and integrate them safely into our national airspace system. We all know what a tragic event can happen when a bird gets sucked into an engine of an Airbus. Could you imagine what a UAV would do as it gets sucked into, on final, into an engine of a 737? So the future of aviation is changing, and we have to adapt to that. We have to have those tough conversations. We have to develop, implement, test. We need to continue to collaborate, and we need to continue to work together with every stakeholder. Each of us have a part to play. And you know, we really should be proud of all these accomplishments and where we are today in the aviation system. But now is not the time to rest. We have a lot of work and a lot of challenges ahead of us. You know, the biggest challenge I see is a lack of a stable funding system within the United States aviation system. You know, last FAA reauthorization bill, we went through 23 extensions, short-term extensions. We saw a partial shutdown of FAA projects in August of 2011. We averted a full shutdown of the government in April of 2011. All to experience the full shutdown of the government in October of 2013, and to see the implementation of this thing called sequestration in March of 2013, where for the first time we saw the aviation community and the FAA actually having to make tough decisions on what the system is going to look like and what safety we are going to provide throughout the system. We saw the FAA looking at closing 238 air traffic control towers, not because it enhanced safety, but to save money. We saw the FAA stop stockpiling important equipment that we need to track airplanes to save money. They shut down the Controller Academy to save money, which is causing a shortage in our facilities today to save money. And that thing called sequester actually comes back into place on October 1 of this year. And the FAA cuts are going to be deeper, and they're going to have to look at other places to save money and continue to look at where they were going to save money. In essence, skimping on safety because Congress can't pass a budget. You know, this aviation system is really self-funding. The Aviation Trust Fund has a lot of money in it, and they should be focusing on paying the operation first so it continues to grow. If you close the operation and shrink the operation, there's less going into the Aviation Trust Fund. It's simple economics and it's simple math, but for some reason, Congress will keep going down on the path that they are. When sequester comes back, and you know why I say when sequester comes back? For anyone paying attention to what's going on the Hill, Homeland Security was going to be defunded Friday night. And Congress, in their infinite wisdom, found 7 days, gave them a 7-day notice of an extension to fund the system for Homeland Security. I'm glad we have such tight security in this country and we have no things to worry about, that they only found 7 days so we can plan to protect our borders and the people of the United States. It's ludicrous. So if they're doing that to Homeland Security, don't you think they're going to be doing it to the aviation system also? We have to find a new structure and a new funding system, a stable funding system There's no way we're going to be able to deliver greatness on 7-day extensions, 23 extensions. The FAA reauthorization bill is up this end of September 30th of this year, and the Chairman Schuster, who I think is pretty amazing, is saying he wants bold and transformational initiatives. He realizes that what they're doing now is broken, and we have to change it. So those are tough conversations that Trish and I are having in Washington, D.C. But 23 extensions or 7-day extensions of not funding our system properly, furloughing controllers across the country, shutting down air traffic control facilities, not stockpiling equipment, and shutting down the FAA Academy, which is our lifeline, we can't have that. We have to continue to adapt. It is unacceptable what's going on, and we will continue to push for a stable funding system for the national airspace system, and we will continue to look to modernize for the future. We could do it. Just like anything else, we could set our mind to, and we can do it. We've built this great system together. We can continue to advance and enhance it and change the structure, so we don't have to worry about a funding mechanism that is going to impact safety throughout this country and, quite frankly, probably around the world. It won't be easy. I promise you it will be worth it. But I will remind you that no great accomplishment has ever taken an easy path. Let's play a video.
Everybody else doing, just 'cause everybody doing what they all do. If one thing I know, I fall but I grow. I'm walking down this road of mine, this road that I go home. So am I wrong for thinking that we could be something for real? Now am I wrong for trying to reach the things that I can't see? That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. Trying to reach the things that I can't see. Am I tripping for having a vision? My prediction, I'ma be on top of the world. Don't look back, always do what you decide. Don't let them control your life, that's just how I feel. Oh, fight for yours, so don't let go. Don't let them compare, you know. Don't worry, you're not alone, that's just how we feel. Am I wrong? Am I wrong for thinking that we could be something for real? Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, now am I wrong for trying to reach the things that I can't see? Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. Trying to reach the things that I can't see. If you tell me I'm wrong, I don't wanna be right. If you tell me I'm wrong, I don't wanna be right. If you tell me I'm wrong, I don't wanna be right. If you tell me I'm wrong, I don't wanna be right. Am I wrong for thinking that we could be something for real? Now am I wrong for trying to reach the things that I can't see? But that's just how I feel. that's just how I feel. Trying to reach the things that I can't see. So am I wrong for thinking that we could be something for real? Oh yeah. Oh, now am I wrong for trying to reach the things that I can't see? Oh yeah. But that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. Trying to reach the things that I can't see.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, colleagues, we're not wrong. We're not wrong to believe we can build a better system. We're not wrong to believe that we can reach for things that we can't see. We're not wrong to dream, innovate, and implement the unbelievable. We're not wrong. We just got to roll up our sleeves and do it, and have the will and the passion to do it, and everybody in this room does. What we thought was impossible yesterday are the current accomplishments that we have today. And in the future, together, every single one of us will achieve the unbelievable in the world's airspace. So let's enjoy this conference, participate, ask questions, and let's make the best system we possibly can, and let's have the best CFS we ever had. Thank you.